Dear participants of the Youth Summit, greetings from Berlin. Here's Claudia Kemfert speaking from the German Institute of Economic Research in the middle of Germany, from Berlin. We are here economists dealing with the economic assessment of different kinds of policies. In my department, we assess the economic consequences of climate change, but also of climate policy, of energy policy, and different kinds of impacts. You might have heard that Germany has decided to do an energy transition, to phase out nuclear power and to increase the share of renewable energy by 80% by 2050. This is what we call so-called Energiewende, and we assess the economic consequences out of this Energiewende. Energy is crucial. We need energy for almost everything. Without energy, nothing would work anymore. Energy is also luxury because 1.2 billion people on Earth do not have access to electricity or clean water. But energy is also self-evident. We switch on lights, we use a car or sit in a car, plane or train, and usually we don't ask where the energy is coming from. If we look at that, we see that approximately 80% of our energy comes from fossil fuel. Burning fossil fuel means that we increase climate change. The impacts of climate change are really severe. This is why we very much appreciate your initiative, Plan for the Planet. It's very important to look at what we can do for climate protection. We are all change agents, you and we are all change agents. This is why this initiative is so important. But we stand also at a crossroad. We have to decide where we want to go. Do we want to really continue like this, increasing the impacts of climate change, or do we want to change? And we need to change also because of the following facts. First, the population is rising. And with rising population, also the energy demand is increasing, especially in fast-growing regions like China or India. And we expect that the energy demand will double by 2050. But our energy resources are not increasing. In fact, they are shrinking. The more we consume, the faster they shrink. This causes a lot of conflicts and war. So it would be better to find a peaceful solution and to secure a climate-friendly energy supply worldwide. Second is that coal reserves are still very large. And coal is cheap also because the CO2 price is very low. Burning coal means that we cause climate change. The more coal we burn, the higher the impacts of climate change. So we see already environmental migrants right now because climate change means that some regions will become unlivable. We don't want to see environmental migrants in the future anymore. The third point is that oil is cheap at the moment simply because the oil suppliers are in the middle of a tough price war. But oil will not remain cheap in the future also because the easy accessible oil fields are already pumped dry. The fourth point is that gas is rare, especially high quality gas. The extraction method of fracking is very expensive and also environmentally unfriendly. If gas is really a bridging technology, we need not to waste it. The fifth point is that nuclear power is very risky and also environmental risky, financially and also environmental risky. Both Chernobyl and Fukushima have shown that it's very, very risky. It's a very risky technology. And also the problem of nuclear waste is not solved. And this is why we should be aware that there are only a few suppliers on the world scale who are really supporting nuclear power. The sixth point is renewable energy is infinite. Wow, a cake that never gets smaller independently, how much we eat away from it. The seventh point is that renewable energy is not causing any emissions. Okay, some think that the windmills are ugly or some are jealous because they don't like the solar plant of the roof of the neighbor, but we can work on this. The eighth point is renewable energy is becoming more and more cheap because it's so efficient, the costs are declining. We are using it already on a world scale. This is why it's important to see that economically efficient is renewable energy. And ninth is renewable energy is also democratic. Because it's decentralized, we go away from centralized solutions like nuclear or coal and go towards more decentralized solutions. And this increases the acceptance and is also a participatory approach. Because of all this, it's really important to change. You are all change agents, and this is why your initiative, Plan for the Planet, is so important. It's much better to plant a tree than to cut it. And me personally, I had also experience with your initiative in my home country in Germany, which is called Delmenhorst. We planted a lot of trees. It was really fun. We could do a lot in order to show that climate protection at the local level is important and can also bring something to protect the climate. And this is why we very much appreciate your initiative and to increase the awareness that we all can do something for climate protection. With this, we wish you a very nice summit.